Hello and welcome to the Heresy Lodge. I'm your host, Dylan Cooper, with our constant co-host over here.
Gavin Franklin.
Guys, we're here this week to preview and play, well, it's basically tic-tac-toe and not bingo.
There's too
Heralds
many
to the
spaces.
Siege.
Heralds of the Siege. Too many spaces for bingo.
Let's see. bingo. So there's 5 by like 6, probably.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's 30.
Yeah,
Am I
that's
doing
what.
the math right?
Yeah, 29
It'd
with
be
the free
5 by
spot.
5. It'd be 25.
Yeah, 24 if you do a free space.
Yeah, it's still a lot. So basically, this is the last short story novella collection of the Horus Heresy before we get to the Siege. And there's a lot of open-ended storylines that were like, how is this going to end? What's going to happen here? And so we're hoping that this book answers all of them. If I was betting, I would doubt it, but we're going to see if either of us can get a bingo with these what the descriptions of the short stories.
Yes. We will both go over our bingo cards shortly. First, though, our housekeeping bullshit. Hit us up on the Discord, guys. So you can find that pinned to our Twitter at Heresy Lodge. Reason you want to join the Discord, interact with us. We also have movie nights and hobby time. Check them out. They're good times. You get to interact with us, interact with other people in the community. It's cool. You can email us at theheresylodge@gmail.com. We are on YouTube at the Heresy Lodge. Go over there, like, subscribe, leave comments. One day, we will have more than just our podcast on there. And that one battle report.
One day.
No, there's two. There's the one TTS.
Oh yeah, we did do TTS.
Yep. If you play Tacticus, check us out with the Pants of Horus cluster. Find that at discord.gg/Pants of Horus. I think those are all the things. We have merch. Merch. Check out the merch. It's cool.
Need to get a hat. I'm gonna get a hat for my birthday.
There you go. Buy it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I respect it. Gavin, what are you drinking, buddy?
I'm drinking a Truly. And listen, I've grown to like Trulies.
I like Truly. They're pretty good.
This is a pina colada style Truly. It's been really nice here in Kentucky. It's like 75 degrees right now.
Same here.
Amazing weather. This just puts me at a pool that's not open yet. Is basically what this does. So it's the pina colada Truly. Dive into flavor. Truly. Hard seltzer. It's
nice.
blurred out. So literally we can't monetize it.
Obviously, we are sponsored by Truly.
Yeah, Truly reached out to us. It's like, we got to get these guys.
Drink these girly drinks for me, please.
They are talking about dicks and places. We need to get these guys.
We truly enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually have a repeat because I joined right after I got off work. So again, from Bloomington Brewing Company, I am drinking the Red Bloom Amber Ale. Maybe it's Ruby Bloom. It's Ruby.
Is it any good? I feel like this is great. I didn't say whether or not it was good. It's great.
Mine's all right. Not bad.
It's phenomenal. Good. And for 100 calories, oh my gosh.
What a steal.
Mm-hmm.
Gavin.
So, my bingo card. It's not bingo. We keep calling it bingo.
Yeah, it's our some of your tic-tac-toe.
It's basically the same thing as bingo. Tic-tac-toe is bingo.
Yeah, basically.
I never thought about that.
Gotta get it in a row. Makes sense.
This is more like small scale bingo because we don't get to choose where we go. Like the story is going to provide us. It's like getting called out. So if anything, this is just small scale bingo.
Yeah.
So I've got in the top left corner, I'm going to work my way from left to right and then down a row. I've got Luther. Where's the Luther?
Agreed. Where is the Luther?
I'm going to be so disappointed if this entire series ends and it's just like, oh yeah, the Dark Angels still have a storyline that you read 4 books about. And it just gets finished out of this series.
Actually, just never finished.
Kill me. Pollux, after the death of Dantioch, and I'm pretty sure they blew up the Pharaohs. Wasn't that like a whole plot point? Like there's no reason for him to be there.
The Pharaohs blew itself up.
I'm so sorry. That was a major mistake on my part. So the Pharaohs is gone. So what is Pollux doing? Is he coming back with Gilliman? Is Gilliman coming back? He's obviously not. Did he go? I would assume if I was like a writer, I'd be like, all right, Pollux jumps onto a Blood Angel ship as they zoom into Terra. That would be my thought.
I mean, we know how he. So in 40K, I mean, he's the founder of the Crimson Fist.
Pollux is?
I think so. He's the fucking Crimson Fist.
Oh shit. Well, where the hell is he? So
Fucking taking around in the creek, I guess. Like, oh shit, I'm still here.
top right, and this is the most important one for probably both of us, is where the fuck is Sevatar?
I have Sevatar as the #1 on my list.
Where's Sevatar? I swear to God, if they drop Sevatar's storyline and they're like, he just kind of exists, I'm gonna be so pissed because he's one of the best written characters in all of 40K.
Yep.
And if he does not show up, it's an
Heads
automatic
roll.
lower letter grade for the entire Horus Heresy.
And it's well deserved.
Middle row, I got Severian.
Yeah, I forgot about him actually.
Who the fuck is he? He's with that perpetual girl.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that too.
Are they making their way to Terra? Like last we heard, they were on some ship that was escaping the planet from Vengeful Spirit, Moloch.
Yes. Yeah.
And then
The
they're
thing is, I know, like, I mean, spoiler alert, I guess. I know he's one of the founding members of the Grey Knights.
it makes no. So here's the thing.
Where
Last
the
we
fuck
saw
is
of
he?
them, they were leaving Moloch, but this it was a weird storyline thing because essentially Severin left on like the Knight Errant cruiser, and then we see him in another story where he's like on a civilian ship that fled Moloch.
Yep.
So there was a huge like retcon, and then basically it was like, oh well, he just like left the Knight Errant cruiser
He's
for
just
some
this like
reason.
crazy sacker who also can teleport.
Yeah, so then he becomes a psyker, which is not something that was talked about at all previously with Severin.
Nope.
And he's now fighting he fought a chaos cult and some demons that were on this like ship with a perpetual lady who was meant to protect the portal at Moloch. So they're like two kind of important characters that have been around for
Maybe.
a while. Hopefully we get them. My middle one is Sigismund. Sigismund was roaming around hunting for Garro. And he had some really bad blood with Dorn.
Yeah, Dorn sent him away. Last time we saw him too was in Praetorian of Dorn.
Yeah, very briefly.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is he? Is he still just chilling out in the deserts of Terra for 50 years?
He's just chilling by Jupiter now.
This is kind of like this guy doing. Then we have what's her face, the blind lady. The girl that got
Perpetual one.
the now perpetual.
Yeah.
That we definitely didn't get her death in Old Earth. We feel like that would be highlighted. It was sort of kind of hinted that she may still be with the word bearers in Slaves to Darkness, but question mark.
Yeah, because Damon took her away.
Yeah, and Damon died.
Yep.
In Old Earth.
Damon got fucked up.
So like, where the hell is he?
You know, that makes me even question now. Are we gonna get the end of Narek's story with what happened at the end of Slaves to Darkness?
So I'm assuming, this is my assumption. Oh, that's a really good point. It's like where so I really hope we get Narek's story. If we lose Narek,
is it just
and
gonna
Sevatar,
be Narek and fucking Lorgar in one ship by themselves?
So we have so Damon is dead. We have no idea what happened to the blind lady. We have no idea what happened to Narek. I am content with the concept that I'm pretty sure, and I hope, that Narek, Eldrad, and John, their story for the Horus Heresy has ended, but it will go and finish in the Siege. That's my hope.
We'll see.
We'll see. My bottom left is Thiel. So we haven't seen Thiel since some short stories.
Yeah.
Last we saw, he was roaming around Ultramar, killing ward bears and night lords and world eaters, and we were pretty sure that he left with Gilliman in the squad when they head out. So maybe feels a weak one. I would like to know what he's doing. I would like to know if he makes it to Terra. That would be cool, but I highly doubt it. My very bottom middle is Corfarion or Erebus. So Corfarion, we last saw running away from Cal. That was like 30 books ago.
Yeah, it was a long time. Yeah, he was fucked up.
It's the greatest space battle of all time, apparently. Like, what is Corfarion doing? He's like roaming around. And Erebus, we're pretty sure Erebus was also in Slaves of Darkness, but again, we're not sure.
Yeah.
So would like to know about that. And then my bottom right is just Night Lords in general. We had like a whole squad of Night Lords that were just like chilling out in space at one point, and then we just left them.
Man, you know who else I should have added on my list?
Hmm.
The fucking Red Angel.
Miros?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Miros is going to show up like pretty hardcore in the siege. In my mind, when I think of Miros, I think he's just chilling with Horus, and then eventually they're gonna show up and just go to town.
Yeah, maybe. So my list, we have several that crossover. First one, Sevatar. Where the fuck is he?
Where the
We all
fuck
need
is
to
Sevatar?
My next one is, where are the Grey Knights? And what the fuck are they doing?
Any Knight Errant Grey Knight thing? Yeah, what's going on there? I agree.
How does Old Person get to Terra?
I would love an all story. Right now, he's still just. We saw him, he jumped
into a pit.
That's what happened to all Pearson last.
So we'll see. I also had Thiel next.
Okay.
My next one is Janus, the Thousand Sun. Now I might be mixing up this Thousand Sun with one of two different stories. Either one I would be fine having some resolution to. It's either the Thousand Sun that was with Yasugi, or it was the Thousand Sun that was like in this like random ship that
the short story.
Yeah. Where
I think
like
that's who you're
finding
talking
like
about.
random fucking psychers in there.
Yeah, there was like 3 human psychers.
Yeah.
And then this like Thousand Sun showed up and they were like, that's a bad guy. And they were like, but wait, it's a good guy.
Yeah.
Only thing we ever saw that guy.
Yeah. One of those two stories, I don't remember which one is Janus, but one of those two. I would like some resolution to. Luther and the Fallen.
Yep.
We know they've declared that they are no longer with the Imperium, except for they randomly helped Lehman Russ.
For some reason.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
We have like giant star fortresses all over the place now, apparently.
Sure, why not?
It's been 50 years. Yeah, we built 6 of those things. We got some crazy workers on Caliban.
Next, I have a Euphrates Keeler.
Where is Keeler? Where's the Saint?
She got arrested by Sigismund? Question mark.
Was it Sigismund?
I think it was at least the Imperial Fist.
Or was it Malcador?
No, it might have been Malcador. It might have
been. I think
it
was Malcador.
Either way, where the fuck is she?
Where's she at? What's she doing? And along with her entourage, was it Salt?
Yeah, Cinderman and Olton.
Yeah.
Next.
Not Olton, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember what the fuck her name is. Next is Marcus, who is the Raven Guard guy that Korax got mad at because he had dreams of fucking Corvus dying. So they went and saved him. Like, how dare you listen to your own dreams? Go to Beta Gammon and die.
Basically sent this dude to his death. And like there's a whole entourage of people that he sent back to Terra. So very interested in like how that ended up for those guys.
Yeah, and then last but not least, I have Garro. Last time we saw Garro, he met with a former Death Guard guy and was like, I've been waiting to fight this demon. And that was it. We're like,
shit out of this demon, bro. Yeah, so Garro's out fighting demons.
It's again, fuck, like the planet's being nuked, and he's like, I came to fight a demon.
I came to fucking fight.
I like, okay.
Both with demons. They're crazy.
Shit is wild around here.
So If you guys have any other storylines that you think were abandoned, let us know and we can kind of capture that. I'd love to get a whole list together because I'm
Yeah, I
sure
would
there's
like
going
a
to be a
full
bunch of
bingo
them.
board before the siege. Like
Yeah.
I think we should do one that like lasted through the entire siege that we keep up to date.
Yeah, why in the world has this been abandoned? You know, one of the things that I wanted to bring up was like the people
Where's
in Sons of
Vulcan?
where is
Because apparently no one else fucking gave a shit about him.
Leave it to GW to just forget about Vulcan. So I was gonna bring up like the Sons of Selenor, but like we know that they have a book in the horse in the siege. So like I'm pretty sure they're just where they're at. But I'm curious as to why the fuck Magnus wants them alive. You know what I mean? Like what is happening there? So there's a lot of like weird stuff that I think hasn't been answered, but I'm pretty sure will be answered in that.
Like that one chick who's hanging out with the new Imperial Fist first captain.
Oh, the like gene pool vat girl from
Yeah.
Is she gonna be a character? Who knows? All right, so let's jump into it. What do we? I'd also like to see. Oh, there's another one. I would love to see more of Tybalt Mar. Now that he killed the Iron Hand leader, is that dude gonna make it back, or is that just like, nah, that's his story?
That's probably just this fucking story right there.
It's just the story. All right, let's jump into it. First one. What do we got?
First one is Myriad. Let's see which one was fucking Myriad.
I don't.
Myriad
Full
is
disclosure, I've read most of these, and I don't remember. There's so many of them. There's like 30. Not really. I think there's 20 something.
this is the Mechanica one where they're like, so this is like a group of Mechanicum that are loyal to the Emperor, and they're like in this like dead zone with like trying to scavenge around fucking Titans and shit.
This is the one where they link up with the Great Intelligence
Yeah.
on Mars. Yeah. I don't have anything about Mars. I was assuming Mars would be taken care of in the siege.
I was assuming Mars is just gonna get nuked because they've talked about it like 12 times. They just keep not doing it.
I would be surprised if like the first thing I read in the siege is so Mars got nuked. Next.
It's about fucking time.
Jeez, I was waiting for them to do that. They couldn't fit it into the story. So yeah, Myriad. So this is about a rebellious group, or when they say they're rebellious against the rebellion, essentially. They're loyalist servants of the Emperor on Mars, and they find an unexpected ally, essentially, to fight against the evil Mechanicum. What's really frustrating about the story of Mars is one, that it's so small. After the fall of Mars, there's very little about it until what I'm assuming is the siege. But the other thing that's so frustrating is, in order to find it, it's in a collection of like random scattered short stories across several books. So
they're all bad.
They're all pretty bad. Yeah.
Like the only one that I've had like any interest in is the one where the Adeptus Mechanicus was created.
Yeah, that was okay. That was pretty good.
Yeah, and that's just because I enjoy like the political like warfare there.
I've decided to change one of my entries. I'm gonna give myself a bonus entry.
Oh, bonus.
The bonus is gonna be, where in the world and why do I care? Where Kane is. Is it Kane? Who's the current Belisarius? Crawl. Where is Crawl? And why do I care?
Yeah, I forgot he just kind of drove off on a ship that he stole.
He's alive in 40K today as the leader of the Mechanicum. And all we've got of this dude is he's just cruising around space and
a speedster.
Speedster. Where's he at? And why do I care? So that's one to add. So, all right, what's the next one?
The next story is The Grey Raven. So this is our first story in this by Gav Thorpe. He has
Mhm.
3. And this is the one that follows. This is the really stupid one with the Raven Guard librarian.
Yeah, so if we recall from Korax, at the end of Korax, he sends away 2 groups of people. One is the army reserves, essentially, that were with him. He sends them to Beta Gamma. And the second group is he sends the Imperial Fist and the Custodian back to Terra to go aid in the defense. But he also sends with him a Raven Guard Psyker to basically the concept of this Korax was like, hey, remember how I had you use your powers to break into the vault of Terra? Yeah, go ask Malcador if that was okay.
Yep.
That's actually what he sent him back to do.
Yeah. And boy, if we
So
get a resolution of that.
we do get a very strange resolution to that story that I don't think makes a lot of sense as far as everything that occurred.
Yeah.
Let's just say Malcador is nuts. And the custodians suck ass.
Which we've known for a while.
Wow.
So next one we have Valerius. And this does give me a point on my bingo card.
All
This
right.
is about Marcus, the Vice Cesari, and his group getting to Beta Gammon and what they do at Beta Gammon.
Also a group sent away from Korax. So that first group, yeah. So we recall from Marcus, he is incredibly religious.
Randomly, he like found the or his Polk or Volk or not Volk. I think it's Polk. His like fucking slave, basically.
Oh
Gave him
yeah.
the
His assistant. He's paid
Is
more
he?
than likely.
I don't think he is. I'm pretty sure he's like his family is like enslaved to his.
Oh, well, that's pretty
I'm
crazy.
pretty sure.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, they're fucked up.
Welcome to the Imperium.
I mean, the dude lives like in the closet and like has to watch his master sleep because he has bad dreams about birds.
But yeah, the great Lord Emperor has gifted this slave master with visions to protect him and everyone around him. So he's being overwhelmed at Beta Gammon, of course, as we all knew, because he was sent there without any military support, essentially. So this is his story. So you get a mark on your bingo card.
Yep. Yeah, like fucking Korax like took away like all of his like big ships and was like, all right, dude, go toodaloo.
Bye. Yeah, Korax went real emo there for a moment.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
bro, you can like put yourself in danger, but don't be a dick to everyone else. And he absolutely was.
all right. So our next story then is the Ember Wolves, which I've not read this one yet, so I'm not sure what this is.
Oh,
Looks
this
like,
one. Trainwreck is gonna hate this one, I'm pretty sure.
why does fucking Dorn get fisted?
No. Trainwreck
Dorn
would
does
love
the
that.
fisting.
Trainwreck would love that.
No, Dorn
You're
has
right.
to do the
Dorn,
fisting. He can't
Dorn
be the
does
one
the
being
fisting.
fisted.
Sorry. Dorn does the fisting in our house. We are fisters.
Not fisties.
So this one is about an entire Titan Legio composed of warhounds.
Hmm.
They are the Legio that was assisting the World Eaters and Betrayer that brought down that giant Imperial Titan. This might
Oh, shit.
even, yeah. So remember that whole story where they had like 20 warhounds like shooting harpoons
Yeah.
at the big Imperial Titan and
Yep.
they brought him down. That might be this story. It was really unclear to me whether or not like it was just that or like a few years later they did the same thing. But I found it incredibly boring. It's all about Titan battles. You're gonna hate it.
Oh boy, that's fine. That's my next read.
And guess what? The great news about this one is two great things. No one needed this, and the ending makes it completely worthless.
Awesome. Oh wow, Chris Ray has 1, 2, 3, 4 short stories in there.
Yeah, Chris Wright went to town.
So this next one is a curse rate one. This is called Black Shield.
This is weird. I hate it.
Oh no. Yeah. Elaborate.
So what does the description say?
Well, this one's so fucking
No,
weird.
I know it is weird. It is weird. I promise you. Let me just check something real quick.
Let's see. It's about Death Guard, Renegade Death Guard Legionaries, ex Deathstroud Terminator Sergeant Korax has begun to raid the fringes of the Imperium until they are cornered by mysterious warriors, crudely painted black armor, led by another fallen son of Mortarion, the Black Shield Sysos Mortorg. Can
All
the
right,
two
so
Jin brothers set aside their differences, or is history doomed to repeat itself?
who are the Death Guard in this book? What is their names? Does it say his name?
Yes. Korax. K-H-O-R-A-K. Korak.
Okay, so probably not the character in Deathfire. So
Deathfire!
this
Oh, wait,
book,
that's not Deathfire. That was fucking, fuck.
Ironfire.
Ironfire, yeah.
Ironfire. So this short story introduces a whole new story arc of short story novels that we haven't read. Was not aware of this, called The Black Shield. There's like a whole subsection of novels.
Fuck yeah.
And
I'm so glad I missed
essentially,
that.
I don't want to spoil the ending to this, so I won't. We'll talk about it in the review. But a lot of this story is of some fluff to basically say at the end, like, loyalty lines are really weird. And
okay.
there's a group of people that really shouldn't exist, fighting a group of people that really shouldn't exist. And now you're left with like a whole slew of characters that can probably go and have their own adventures in the setting of the Horus Heresy.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cash grab. All right, next. Children of Sikaris.
I get a point on this one.
What's this one?
So this one is about
Corfarion.
Corfarion. So Corfarion, we do not get the greatest space battle that ever was.
Fuck yeah.
We get what happened to Corfarion after. And Corfarion apparently got fucked at the greatest space battle that ever was, because he's got like 16 people. It's what he's doing.
He got fucked up before he left. He got fucked up after he left. And he's still alive.
Yeah, so now he wanders into basically a demon. He's on a demon planet.
Oh.
And
whoa. Who would have ever thought?
Now he thought this was a good thing, au contraire.
Of course he did.
So some shit happens to Corfarion on this planet, and Corfarion does some shit on this planet. And what I think that this story is setting up for is either after the Horus Heresy, unfortunately, or we may or may not get the return of Lord Gar because of this story later on.
Interesting. All right.
This does also confirm some shit that the Lion said he was going to do. Listen, I can't stand the Lion, but you can't deny when the Lion says he's going to do something, it doesn't matter how stupid it is, he does it. He does do it. He's like, I'm going to bomb
He almost
a
didn't find fucking Kurz until someone told him what Kurz was.
He found him. He only told Gilman, he was like, hey, I'm going to bomb a crag. And Gilman was like, don't do that. The last one.
Well, I'm going to drop napalm.
This is actually me asking for forgiveness because it happened yesterday.
Yeah, I already dropped all the napalm. Like,
yeah,
all your cities are burned down. Everyone's in a lot of, well, they're not in pain anymore, but they were probably pain.
they were in a lot of pain previously. All right, what's the next one?
Next one is Exocytosis. This follows the Dark Angel's first Captain Typhon of the Death Guard.
We got some Luther here, so we both get a point on this one.
Hell yeah! Oh, so this is the follow-up of Angels of Caliban.
Yes, and I'm gonna be honest with you. You're gonna get really disappointed. because this story, basically what it does is at the end of Angels of Caliban, remember that Luther found there was a connection between him and Typhus. Luther found Typhus was close to Caliban, so he went to go aid him. And the last time we saw Typhus, he was fighting Corswain.
Yep.
In space. So the Typhus is like wounded. Luther goes to help him in this story. And the end of it is basically the way it sets it up is it's just like, yeah, none of that matters.
Hell yeah.
Like when Luther said, hey, I'm gonna go help Typhus, like does like fucking forget about it.
Cool.
So when we were saying, hey, we might get some like ending to that story in the Buried Dagger, I don't think so. I don't think Luther's going to be in the Buried Dagger anymore, which is super unfortunate. So we got a point, but I'm going to give myself like a circle on that point because even though we get
not something,
it's not resolution.
Yeah.
It's a worse. It puts us back.
At least it was mentioned, I guess. All right. So next is the Painted Count.
Oh, this one's fucking good. So this one does follow the group of Night Lords that were important in Pharos. So I get a point for this too.
Nice.
And it's about what's the guy's name? He's actually kind of cool. It's not Krukesh. It's the main dude.
Gendor Scrivok.
Scrivok. Yeah, Scrivok. So he's the dude from Pharos. If you remember from Pharos, he gave one of the brothers this sword that he got from like murdering his librarian. It was really weird.
Yeah.
And then at the end of Pharos, Scrivok survives by using the Pharos to teleport onto a Night Lord ship. And he kills the person that was in charge of him with this sword. But the sword should not have been there. It teleported to him. So he's like really weirded out about this sword right now. And if you know anything about
that sword does some weird shit.
Yeah. So they're Night Lords. So he killed the leader, which makes him the leader, and then everyone wants to kill him. And that's kind of the story here. And it's actually really good. And maybe we go back to Vulcan's maze.
Ooh.
Yeah. It gets a little interesting. Yeah, it's really good. And it does actually wrap up the Night Lord story. Unfortunately, no Sevatar.
Oh, well, that's some bullshit. All right. Next, we have the last son of Prospero.
There you go. It's a point for you, sir.
Assuming that this is the right guy.
What's his name? What's it should say?
Let's see. Okay, so this one is Reveal Arvida, but I know that the Grey Knights changed their names. Okay, yes, I am right. He is known as Janus. Yes.
Well, that's interesting based off the end of this story. So if we remember, Arvida was risked away as soon as the White Scars got into territory by Malcador, and he's like, I gotta fucking take this guy. Now it's because he was going through the flesh change. We got like one of the coolest descriptions of the flesh change ever in Path to Heaven, where he's like walking around this like citadel fucking hallucinating. It was nuts.
Yep.
And that continues. And the end of this is just fucking bonkers. We get some Jagatai, we get some Grey Knights, but not the way that you're thinking of, unfortunately. We get Malcador, we even get some Magnus. It's awesome.
Sweet. I can get down for all of those things. Next is the Soul Severed. Looks like it is Emperor's Children.
So this one's about Eidolon, and some other Emperor's children, and they fight each other, and that's the story.
Neat. That's what I cared about. I would rather know what the fuck Lucius is doing now. I almost put Lucius on my board.
Yeah, we know that he heard the call. We
Yeah.
heard that he heard Fulgrim's.
He's like, "Ah, what the
Lucius
fuck is that gay noise?"
he's on his way.
He's like, that doesn't sound right. I better go fuck that guy up.
I'm gonna go beat the shit out of that guy. All right. That's all I have for that. There's really nothing more I can. There's just, that's all it is. It's very short, very sweet.
Fair enough. Next one is Dark Compliance.
That's what I'm on now. So this one is pre Slaves to Darkness. And it's about Argonis kind of being leveraged by Horus as a herald to go to worlds to basically bring them under the War Master's banner. That's it.
Oh, cool.
It talks about like a battle that Horus had at a planet that he brought to compliance for himself. So like anti-compliance, but
Hell yeah.
yeah, it was kind of cool just because that's what I wanted, right? Like I want to see like random like planets that have strategical value. It seemed like this one did, but yeah, nothing too important.
Cool. Next one is Duty Waits. Let's see. This is about it's about Terra. It says on Terra, the Imperial Palace awaits war since the Alpha Legion infiltrated the mighty structure. The Imperial Fists have upped their patrols. Defenses have been tightened. The planet prepares for the coming of Horus. 4 Primarchs stand ready to defend the Third World. Now, hold on. We have Rogador. We have Sanguinius.
Uh-huh.
We have
Jagatai?
Jagatai. Is there someone other than Vulcan there?
I don't think so. I think they're
Because
recognizing that.
Leman Russ is gone. Although this is only post POD, so it might be
It's
Leman
not
Russ.
going to be Lehman Russ. That would piss me off so much.
It's either Leman Russ or it's Vulcan. I guess we'll find out when we get
I
there.
really hope it's Vulcan. I swear to God, if it's Lehman Russ, I'm like, guys.
I will laugh so hard.
Wait, did we remember? Did Lehman Russ leave pre Alpha Legion?
It had to been
Pre-Praetorian?
post because Sanguinius came. He was there when Sanguinius got there.
But Vulcan, we're pretty sure based off of context, was there before Sanguinius.
Yep.
This is what makes no sense because, like, when Vulcan arrives, Doran's like, Jagatai's here. That's the only one. So that made us think, okay, that must mean that Lehman Russ left. But then Sanguinius shows up, and Vulcan's not mentioned, and Lehman Russ is. So that timeline just literally doesn't make any sense. I don't think there's a scenario that you can create just based off of that information.
Yeah, and we know Leman Russ was there when Jagatai showed up because Leman Russ met Jagatai in the orbit.
So
It was
yeah,
like,
it makes you think that, like,
motherfucker.
it makes you think that like Lehman Russ left,
Yeah.
Vulcan shows up, and then Sanguinius, but that doesn't make sense because Lehman Russ was there when Sanguinius shows up.
Yeah.
So unless, and I don't think there's a scenario that it makes
No,
sense.
there's a messed up timeline.
There's a come on now, guys. Can we show Vulcan some fucking respect?
Hell no.
No wonder the Salamanders are treated like shit in the story because Nick Kime's writing a phenomenal fucking book about him, and then they're like, nah, he's not there.
Yeah, it looks like this story actually deals with a civilian riot.
That's gotta be Vulcan.
I don't know. It says Captain Maximus Thane and his company are forced to deal with a civilian riot with tragic consequences.
All right.
Sure.
That's literally what Vulcan told his salamanders to do when he went to the palace. He was like, deal with the people. So you'd think a civilian riot would be like perfect for the salamanders to deal with.
You would think, but whatever, I guess.
Okay.
All right,
What's
next we have Magisterium. This is the war in the webway is over. The custodian guard, devastated by the demonic hordes that flooded the lower reaches of the Imperial Palace, Constantine Valdor, which honestly, finally we have some Valdor.
Sure.
Commander of the Emperor's Guard stands at the head of his fellows, but in conflict with the Lord Commander of the Imperium, the Primarch Rogodorn, and it is not the first time Valdor, the Emperor's Magisterium, has found himself pitted against the Primarch. His memories of Prospero are all. Okay, are we going back to fucking Prospero?
Prospero.
Yes, his
What the fuck
memories of
does
Prospero are all too fresh.
What does Dorn have to do with Prospero?
I guess he probably gets into a fucking argument with Dorn and then reflects on fucking his time at Prospero, which I didn't know he was even at Prospero.
Yeah, I remember that all the bunch of custodians were sent with
Yeah,
the
but
Space
I didn't know
Force and
Valdor
the
was there.
Sisters of Silence. Yeah, he was. We talked about him being there.
What the fuck did he do there? Nothing? The
Well, he
dude's supposed to
kicked
be like
ass.
as strong as a
He killed-
Primarch. Didn't even fight
He
a
killed a
Primarch.
bunch of Thousand Sons.
Oh, they're apparently fucking fodder.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, all the main ones are still alive, so I mean, it didn't do too much.
Not something I'm really interested in. I mean, I'm glad there's Valdor. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I would
Valdor's a
rather
character
him.
that has maybe had like 2 paragraphs written about him this whole time. So
Yeah, definitely deserves.
had a whole book about custodes, and he wasn't even in it.
Let's see. Next one's Now Peels Midnight. My brain is not finding it on this list. Oh, there it is. It's John Frenchie. Let's see. Midnight is coming. For long years, the defenders of Terra have stood sentinel, waiting the inevitable. The coming of the War Master. The traitor, Horus, and his horde. For Rogodorn, his brother Primarchs, and his loyal sons.
Which brothers?
Among the billions of others awaiting the breaking of the storm, the wait is almost over. The sun is settling. The sun is setting and night falling, and the enemy comes.
That's it. That's nothing to go off of.
Yeah, maybe they see a ship. Oh,
so that's super frustrating because like the next book is about Beta Canon.
Hell yeah, it is, dude.
Oh, fuck. Okay, whatever. All right.
Yeah.
What's the next one?
Dreams of Unity by Nikki Kime.
All right, Nick.
It has been many long years since the fall of the Thunder Warriors. After the last battles of Unity, the legions of enhanced warriors were slaughtered by the Emperor's custodian guard of the Master of Mankind's orders, but a handful survived. Now, where the last few Thunder Warriors get caught up in dangerous events that engulf the throne world, even as he is hunted by one of the Emperor's Praetorians. So I'm assuming this is the Thunder Warrior from Outcast Dead?
You would think.
You would think. Watch it be a random ass Thunder Warrior that makes no sense, that has been doing absolutely nothing but like sitting in a room.
I would so much more prefer if the Outcast Dead didn't exist. We didn't have to deal with Thunder Warriors. Okay.
I'd be fine with like these types of stories 50 books ago.
50, and this is 50. This is book 52.
I'd be fine hearing about the Thunder Warriors before the fucking heresy started.
Yeah, this is, guys, like we literally just read a synopsis of a story that was like, fucking coming. Now, what about those warriors that we had like 2,000 years ago? What are they up to?
Yeah, that we supposedly all murdered.
Yeah, what are they doing?
Apparently like 5, then it went down to like 1.
What are they
but
doing?
Now it's back to 5. All right, next one. The board is set.
Is this the last one?
This is the last one.
Okay, this better be about Sigismund or else I lose.
Malcador the Sigillite is troubled. The war fleets of the traitor Horus approach, and the war in the throne world is inevitable. But with the Emperor on the golden throne, keeping the darkness beneath the Imperial Palace at bay, how can even the assembled might of 3 Space Marine legions stand against the fury to come? Communing with the Emperor, Malcador plays out a war game, musing on the key pieces and the unorthodox strategies that may be required to secure victory, and at what role he might play in the battle to come.
Well, I lost. How'd you do?
I have no bingos. I was close. I needed either Thiel or What the Grey Knights Are Doing.
I needed Thiel or Sigismund. We both needed Theo. We really needed Theo to pull through there. Wow. I also didn't get the bonus of crawl. That's a lot of abandoned storylines.
It is. And like what's
Here's-
crazy is like some of these are like old. Like I told you like Euphrates Keeler. That was a character we were introduced to in book 1.
Here's what I know. Sigismund is definitely going to appear in the siege.
I would fucking hope so. So is Garro. Garro has his own book.
Yeah. The question is this.
All Pearson should be there too.
All Pearson should be there. These are the questions. These are the ones that I'm like, how are we going to get these? Are we done with Theo? Does Theo just not exist anymore?
Probably.
Are we done with Severin? Severin just doesn't exist anymore.
I mean, Severin is one of the original 7 of the Grey Knights, so he might appear in the siege. Although, spoiler alert, the Grey Knights aren't at the siege, so I don't know.
Pollux. I mean, yeah, he creates a whole chapter, but like, are we even going to see him in this? Are we going to see anything of these characters that we've invested time into in the siege? Or are they just going to be like, yeah, but if you read the codex about the Crimson Fist, it tells you that Pollux starts them. Like, not good enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Sevatar. Like, I genuinely don't know. What else is Sevatar doing?
Saved a random astropath?
The blind lady.
I think we get her in the siege. I was told we do.
So we feel confident about the blind lady.
Yep.
And we feel very confident about Sigismund. There ain't no way Sigismund's not in there.
Yep.
I'm not confident about seeing anything about Severin or Theo, Pollux, or Sevatar. Or Crawl, for that matter. I'm not really confident. What a loss. What a loss of really cool, interesting storylines that were completely abandoned for practically no reason.
Yeah, I honestly don't know if we would get your Freddy Killer or not.
That would be crazy if we don't get Keeler.
It would be, but like, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we didn't.
Guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is just maybe it's some foreshadowing that may be happening in a few episodes. But if we really have these abandoned storylines, along with a lot of plot holes and retcons, I don't know if I would suggest reading the Horus Heresy.
Not in its entirety, that's for sure.
Like, that's kind of rough. Like, when you think about planning out a story, it doesn't take a lot of effort to be like, hey, we're 50 books in, and like, are we going to get back to Sevatar? I wrote an entire like book about
The thing is that, actually, no. Sevatar was only in short stories.
Yeah. But so they're
If we
like,
didn't read
okay.
the short stories, we wouldn't even know he existed.
They're saying like short stories don't matter until you actually
Until you get the
need
visual
them
spirit
to understand everything that's going on.
Yep.
Like, oh, okay, like short stories don't matter, but also we're gonna bring back Loken in a short story.
Yep. Or have like 13 other stories that tie into like one book. And it's like, oh, if I didn't read those short stories, I would not have known about this. Or you get the short story 10 books later and like, wow, that would have been good information I already know.
That's so rough.
The way that they did this, it was just so poor. You cannot convince me that there was any plan involved. Like, I don't care what Graham said that they were all in a room together. That's a lie.
I just don't think so. Like, there's just no way. Like, I really want to question one of these authors again, guys. Like, I'm looking at this story map, and
Look, we have subjected ourselves to pain and torture by reading every single book in this series.
I mean, it's been enjoyable. But
Has it?
you can't dedicate 2 years of your life to a story and then come out and say like, oh yeah, we abandoned like 6 plots, at least minimum of 6 plots.
And that's, I mean, we're reading these every 2 weeks. Like some of these books like may have taken a year to come out, like since the last one. Like, could you imagine like waiting like a year for one of these books, be super pumped, and then you read fucking like
Nemesis.
I don't know, yeah, Nemesis. It's like, oh,
or fucking, or imagine
yeah, I
Born
could
of
do
Flame.
fucking Born of Flame. Oh my god, it's like, oh, I already read 3 of these fucking short stories.
Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. This is something that I have to do now. Oh man. It's so true. Like guys, like it's so frustrating because we love this series and I hate talking shit about it. And a lot of the followers that a lot of times in Discord, people are like, why are you guys so negative about the books? And I'm like, look, like it's rough. Like it's rough to like the individual books are like fine, but if you take it as a series, it's like so many abandoned plot lines, so many plot holes, so many like random things that are just big plot jumps too that they expect you to just like understand. And like,
you know what I should have put on my fucking bingo board too?
what?
What the fuck is the Alpha Legion doing?
Well, yeah, exactly. And you get stories like the Alpha Legion where it's like, we're not going to tell you because it's very an Alpha Legion thing to do. And I'm like, well, it just seems like a really easy time for the writers to not have to like tell you motives behind characters.
Yeah, like what is fucking oh my god doing as Alfarius now?
Yeah. There's so many different things that I just feel like have been abandoned or not really thought about. Like we even have all kinds of characters that I'm not even mentioning anymore because I'm like, I don't even think that's going to be a thing. Like, what about that Ultramarine that was being subject to mental hallucination torture in the prisons
Oh,
of Terra, and they made up an entire salamander that died in his mind so that they could put him as like a forward-facing captain on ships to fight against Horus.
yeah, what the fuck?
What is this? What about that? Like, are we gonna get? And who knows? We may get this in the siege, but like, didn't a bunch of word bearers go to a moon somewhere in order to plant some sort of ritualistic demon? And didn't some word bearer go to Terra to kill a word bearer that was there?
Yep.
In order to turn him into a demon under the ground?
Yep, sure did. Ah man, there's so much like what the fuck is Kruger doing?
We haven't seen Kruger. We've gotten like multiple stories about the Iron Warriors since then, and like no hint of Kruger. And unfortunately, like
Wasn't Kruger an Iron Fire?
He was an Iron Fire.
Of all the things that like such a cool character was put, it was
I'm
fucking
like
Iron
pretty
Fire.
sure that Graham intended for Kruger to be a perpetual.
Yeah, because you went through the whole thing where it said like he was from like the Civil War or something.
Yeah, and like he was going through like one of the stories that he was living through in his mind was a battle that all Pearson arrives at.
Yeah.
And his like perpetual journey. Kruger's an Iron Fire. That's what we get from Kruger.
Do we get the siege weapons again?
Do we?
I don't know,
well,
because
the
last we
Iron
saw that they
Warriors
were
are
being used in Iron Fire.
using it on themselves. I don't know. There's a lot of plots that just never came to fruition. Trying to think, like obviously, like every salamander ever, it just doesn't matter for the rest of the Horus Heresy. They're just chilling on Nocturne, literally, is like the plot of the salamanders.
Yeah, there's even like characters like Tormageddon. Like, why is Tormageddon a thing? It was like, oh, we brought back Loken, so like we should bring back
It's Tormegadon.
Or yes, Tormegadon,
Tormegadon.
the dinosaur version.
Yeah, I mean, of course, like all of this pales in comparison to the plot line. People are going to argue against this so much, but it's just so not true. Like the abandoned plot line of the Dark Angels. Like they had like 3 whole books written about the Fallen. And I understand that people say, oh, that happens in Scouring. There is a book about it. But you can't like have an entire series, a series called The Horus Heresy, where you introduce 3 novels about a faction that goes absolutely nowhere. And the conclusion of them just isn't provided. They're like, oh, you have to read this like other random book that was written like 30 years before these books. Like that just doesn't work out. Like that doesn't format correctly.
No, it's too widespread. And it just a lot of it just doesn't make sense.
If you have any other abandoned plot lines, let us know because we would love to bring them up. I find them really interesting. And it's a little frustrating that a lot of them get answered in like codexes.
Yeah, that's like the dumbest fucking thing.
Yeah, so there's a lot of abandoned stuff out there. Maybe there are books about them. So if there are plot lines where you're like, hey, you guys covered this plot line, but this book covers it. And I swear to God, if you give us a short story or audio book that some dude wrote 30 years ago, I'll be so pissed. But it's not your fault. I'm just let us know if that's the situation because I'm really interested in a lot of how these stories end up. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like if there's any other like big ones like off the top of my head, but I'm not.
We get stories in the Horus Heresy that come to an end that really aren't ended, but I'm okay with where they're at. Like I'm completely okay with Conrad Curtis floating in space.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
Yeah, like I'm completely okay with like Lehman Rush just getting fucked and Corvus Corax, who also got fucked, showing up being like, let's bail. Like that's their end in the Horus Heresy. That makes sense to me. The concept of like Luther building up to this conflict with the lion and then being like, no, that doesn't happen here. That would be really frustrating. That's really frustrating for me.
Yeah.
The concept of, you know, Lorgar getting the shit beat out of him by Horus and then Horus saying, leave, pussy. That works for me. I'm okay with that ending for Lorgar. If I didn't see Lorgar for the rest of the novels, I'd be like, yeah, he got fucked off. I don't know. That's pretty much what happened to him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we still got a couple of books left. We'll see what we hit. We'll see what the siege answers.
Yeah,
maybe some of these still get tied up. I know Garro, I'll see. Old Pierce, I'll see. I don't know if I'll see the Grey Knights. Sevatar, I don't think we'll see. Deal, I don't think we'll see. I hope we see the Saint.
Be pretty terrible if we didn't.
But that would be my full bingo card.
There we go. Keep track.
Yeah, I'm gonna save this. So that's it, guys. Next week we'll have our review of the Heralds of the Siege, to the Siege.
Yep,
We are the
Siege.
siege. Of the Siege. Whatever.
In the Siege.
Yeah, one of those words, I'm sure. So yes, check us out on our Discord. Find that pinned to our Twitter at Heresy Lodge. Email us at theheresylodge@gmail.com. Check us out on YouTube. Like, subscribe, leave comments. Check out our merch. Buy some merch, preferably. Don't just look at it. That's fucking stupid. Buy the shit.
I like to look at it. Open it
up. If you play that tickets, check out the Pants of Horus cluster, discord.gg/Pants of Horus. That's it for us this week, guys. You have a good one.